Well, it is always a pleasure to talk with our master mom, Amanda Olson from Olson's Martial Arts. She's always got some great advice and encouragement for parents and kids. And today she's answering a question from the kids, focusing on some of the kids' questions today, I understand, Amanda.
Yeah, funny thing, when I started the Ask Master Mom, I have a little box here at the Academy for parents to kind of anonymously ask questions if they like. And the kids started putting questions in there. And, you know, some of them are really fun, and we'll do some of those, but some of them are very serious, and today's kind of one of those tough questions. What do you do when your brother is hitting you? So that'll be hopefully helpful to kids and parents.
Absolutely. And that's one of those things, Amanda, I don't think that ever goes away. I mean, I can remember being young, and sometimes the roles may be reversed. You know, what do you do if your sister is hitting you? But you always have those sibling conflicts.
Yeah, it's something that's definitely not going to end. It's something that's just about anyone who has a sibling has dealt with. And even if you don't, even if you're, you know, an only child, you have cousins or best friends and, you know, your age group, and those kind of conflicts happen. So it's not just with siblings, but something that all kids could kind of learn how to handle.
So what's your advice? How do you begin to answer that? Because it seems like such a simple question. You tell them to stop, but it's so much more complicated than that.
Yeah, typically, you know, when that's happening, it's a sibling or a friend, like I said, that's bigger than you and stronger than you. So, you know, it does get a little tricky. And one of the things that happens is the kid that's getting, you know, hit or whatever, you know, things just get a little out of hand. They escalate from kind of playful to a little bit too much contact. They get upset and they cry, and, you know, and then that just kind of spurs the other kid on. Oh, wow, you know, I'm having an effect here. And you can scream and yell and say, stop it, quit hitting me, and run to your parents and say, you know, Billy's hitting me again. And it doesn't, that kind of action doesn't help. It's what you're feeling, and you're a little kid, and that's how you act, you know, but you can actually do better than just kind of telling the parents, you know, he's hitting me, because what happens, then the parents are like, you know, and I'm guilty of the same thing. All right, both of you quit fighting, you're both in timeout, or you're both in trouble. And that's not really what was happening. You know, they weren't both fighting. You were getting picked on.
Yeah.
You were getting hurt. So you can talk to the kids, and kids, this is for you too. Tell the person that's hitting you in a very strong, confident voice, as much as you can, please stop hitting me, it really hurts, I don't like it. And you might be surprised that the sibling didn't realize that they were really getting under your skin that much. They were just kind of having fun. Kids really don't, you know, I work in martial arts with kids, they really don't know their own strength, and they may not have known that it was really hurting you. So that would be my first advice, but like you said, that doesn't always work, just to tell them to stop. But I would try that first, and you might be surprised that your sibling is really sorry that they hurt you. But the next approach, and this is really important, is to go to your parent or your grandparent, whoever's taking care of you, and just, when it's not happening, say, Mom, there's something very important I need to talk to you about. Something that's really bothering me. So kids, this is where you get to go to your parent almost like an adult, and instead of crying and screaming and telling on your brother, go and say, Mom, there's something very important I need to talk to you about. And I guarantee you, as a mom, your mom is going to stop and listen. They'll want to hear, you came to them very adult-like, and this must be serious, and they want to stop and hear what you have to say.
Man, that is very powerful, because when you think about it, the first thing they do when they run and tell, you know, as a parent, you're automatically defensive and you're mad at both of them and we just need to stop. But to actually have that conversation, that I feel like, you know, these are true feelings. I would imagine any parent would want to sit them both down and have a bigger conversation.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, as a mom too, my kids are 2.5 years apart, so there was all kinds of, you know, he's hitting me, she's taking my stuff, you know, and you're in the middle of doing something, you're like, guys, stop it, quit bickering. you know, but it might be something that is actually kind of ongoing and needs your attention. And you know, it's hard for kids to know that they can do that they can go and talk about something very serious. You know, they think that sometimes we treat them too much like kids, and then that's how they feel like they have to act. So, you know, if we kind of tell our kids, you know, it's okay to act like, you know, mature and say, hey, I want to have a conversation with you, Mom.
Yeah.
I need to talk to you. And the same thing, you know, that will help them be able to talk to their teachers at school when something's going on. And then, of course, later in life, too, have that confidence that if I go and talk to somebody, you know, chances are they're going to really listen instead of me just kind of barking.
Yep.
I don't like this.
Yeah, and I absolutely love that you use that word confidence. It's just about getting them to be able to understand and communicate, and boy, that's something they'll take with them an entire lifetime.
Yes, that's my hope. If they can get that at a young age, they will enjoy that life skill for the rest of their life.
All right. As always, great information. Amanda, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us this morning.
Absolutely. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hey, if you would like to ask other questions or you would like to learn more about Olson's Martial Arts Academy, you can always visit them there on Cherry Street in Johnson City. Check out the website for more, AskMasterMom.com.
The preceding portion of Daytime Tri-Cities was sponsored by